Well, it's 12 o'clock. Hello, IFMA associate members. I know everyone's on mute, but it's all good. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us today. We miss, seeing everyone and miss being a part of our events. And Karen, Denise, myself, Steve, and Marcia, we've kind of worked together to get out there and do some, Zoom sessions and some trainings and some happy hours that are going to be coming up. And today, my colleague, Tyler Levitt, was gracious enough to offer his wonderful wisdom on how to best utilize LinkedIn and best practices. Our company has done a lot of trainings in the last couple of months, and Tyler gave our group throughout North America, this training, and I thought, God, that would be really cool to, share with our associate members. So, he's a colleague that works in the Northeast, and he's really worked hard and, really utilizing LinkedIn as a way for prospecting and, sharing the story of security and what's out there and how to best help, our customers and prospects. And he's been real successful at it and, getting some wins from LinkedIn. So I wanted to share that with everyone. And I'm going to let Caitlin is Karen's colleague, and I'll let her go through some administrative things, and then we'll get Tyler going.
All right, thanks, Lydia. So hi, I'm Caitlin. Can everybody hear me okay? Lydia, you can hear me okay? Okay, perfect. We had a little hiccup with the sound earlier, but I guess it's fixed. So I'm just here to introduce anybody who doesn't know about Zoom. There's just a couple of commands that are going to be helpful to you throughout the meeting. Let's start with the chat. So here is the chat, and it should pop up for everyone. And then you'll see your chat window, and you can toggle that open or close by pressing Alt-H, and you can use that to message everyone, or you can click on the drop-down menu next to the two, and select a specific person if you need to send like a little message during the meeting that you don't want to put on blast. So there's the chat. And then the other one that might be useful to everyone is knowing that Alt-Y is going to get you to raise your hand. So I'll demonstrate that. How does that work? Not working for me right now. Let's see. Well, I will troubleshoot that, and hopefully we can. I'll send out a message to everybody when I figure out why it's not letting me raise my hand. So, otherwise, sorry.
I'm sorry, Caitlin, just really quick. Tyler, are you okay if we ask questions during your presentation, or do you want to wait for after?
Yeah, if you have a question, that's fine. You can interrupt. You can throw something in the group chat. Either way is fine.
Okay, perfect.
Sounds good. All right. Otherwise, thanks everybody for your time. And who are we going to next, Tyler?
Yeah, sure. Let's just get right into it. So my name's Tyler Levitt. I work up in the Northeast. I live up in Maine, and I've been doing LinkedIn now for about 7 or 8 months. I have a little LinkedIn campaign going, and it's provided me some pretty tremendous results. And I'm going to kind of share that with you. I'm going to share with you kind of what I do on an everyday basis to, develop business. Being as business development is a huge part of actually selling something, is getting people interested in it. And LinkedIn is a pretty tremendous tool for that. So a lot of the problems that, marketing people have is, what they want to do is they want to get their ads in front of the people that they want to get them in front of. So if you run an ad, you run a Google ad or a commercial, oftentimes what happens is that ad gets seen by people you don't really want it to get seen by, like not your ideal client, or not the ideal person that you want to sell to. So with LinkedIn, you can really kind of handpick your audience. And that's what I've been doing over the past, 7 or 8 months now, is I'm able to go in, locate prospects that, would be responsible for the purchasing decision of the products and services that I sell. So once I connect with those people, I can, post my content. I can ask them for business. I can, there's a number of things that you can do there. And it's all about brand recognition, and it's all about, associating, yourself with the products that you sell to the people you want to sell them to over a long period of time, so that eventually, they reach out to you and they actually, purchase for you. So LinkedIn in previous years is kind of looked at as just kind of a way to, go look for another job, right? People would go on, they'd look for a recruiter, or they'd connect with some people where they want to work, and they do it that way. So it's definitely changed. LinkedIn's growing at a rate of about 2 people per second right now. And that was stats pulled from last year. In addition to that, people are also spending a longer amount of time actually on the platform as well. They said about 300% more time is spent on LinkedIn per individual member. So people are joining the platform, and people are spending more time on it. And that's, just basically because of the algorithm that LinkedIn has put out to make the user experience more enjoyable. So I've jumped on that train pretty firmly now, because I know that it's only going to continue to grow. And I know that, developing business on there is going to continue to, be more relevant. So business to business sales on LinkedIn is huge. And, I don't know what everyone does on here. I don't know the products that you sell, but I do know that, business development, no matter what company you're in, is extremely important. So I'll kind of take you through what I do on a daily basis to talk to people, develop business, and, close business. I guess first off, I'll start by saying that there's a couple different subscription options for LinkedIn. There's obviously the free platform, which I started out using. And then there's LinkedIn Business, which is kind of the middle of the road subscription. And then there's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So there's a couple different options there, depending on what you want to do. And when I started out in the free version, basically what I do on a day-to-day basis is reach out to as many people as I possibly can on LinkedIn. Now, when you have the free version, you can reach out to about 30 different people on every month or so. And from my experience, that really wasn't cutting it. So I upgraded to business, and business allows me to reach out to about 50 people per day, sometimes even more, depending. And it's really kind of a significant difference. And if you're looking to develop business and you're looking to develop business quickly, that's really where you're going to probably want to lean. You can use the free one if you're looking to just kind of use it passively a little bit and connect with some of, people you've worked with in the past, or, some of your, high-end potential prospects, and you could keep it under 30 per month. But for what I'm doing high volume, reaching out to a ton of people, connecting with a ton of people, and then posting my content so that they continuously see that, I work in security. So I want all those people to continuously see that I'm in security. So I post about security. So, that in 6 months' time, 8 months' time, 2 years' time, they've been continuously reminded of me being in security, and they may actually reach out to me for something. So it's really a pretty tremendous tool. So I'll jump right into it. I'll try not to bore you guys too much here, but I'm going to share my screen. Let's see, share. Okay. Lydia, can you see my screen here? Can you see my homepage? Nodding. Okay, good. Cool. So this is the home screen. This is the basic LinkedIn home screen page. Now, this is going to look the same whether you have the free version of LinkedIn or if you have LinkedIn Business. It's going to look just like this. So I don't know if you guys have LinkedIn. I looked at a couple of folks, and it seemed like some of you actually did have pretty good LinkedIn presences, which is great. But basically what I'll do is I'll keep it really simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the search bar here, and I'm going to search for someone that I think would be in charge of purchasing the services or products that I have. So I work in security, so I sell physical security systems. So quite often what I deal with are property managers. So what I'll do is I'll come up here to the search bar. I'll type in property manager, and then I'll type in a location too, because you probably want to stay within your territory. At least I do. So I'll type in Texas, and you're going to get some pretty tremendous results here. So you're just going to be able to go through and look at all of these people and decide whether or not you want to connect with them or send them any kind of message. So like I work in security, so I'm going to look at this first person here. And, right above her, you're going to see that it came up with 205,000 results, almost 200, 206,000 results. You know, that's a pretty significant number. And this is all just going to be filled with pages and pages of people that you can reach out to, like hundreds of pages of just property managers that I can reach out to. So that's what I'll do. You know, I get my 50 or 60 per day, and I'll go through and I'll vet out some of these people, and I'll, you know, decide whether or not I actually want to reach out to them. So, you know, like for instance, you know, Sherry here. So she's the first one that popped up. Regional property manager at Greystar, Dallas area, property manager, Lincoln. I have a couple of mutual connections there. She has a nice professional picture, which means she's probably pretty active on LinkedIn, which is what I want. And I'll just come over here to the connect screen. I'll click on connect. And then from there, it'll kind of give you the option to customize the invitation. So you can send the invitation as is, you can send it there, or you can add a note. So 100% of the time, I will add a note to the invitation. So just to take that full circle, I went up to the bar, I typed in property manager, just because I think property managers are quite often in charge of, you know, the purchase of a security system. So I type in property manager, I type in my location. I live in Maine, but we're using Texas for an example. And I get 205,000 results, and I can just go through all of them. So I'm going to have Sherry. I want to connect with Sherry because I want her to be in my network. I want to ask her for business. So I go over, I click connect. I'm going to add a note. And from here, you can add a personalized note if you want. But if you're inviting, you know, 50 to 60 people a day like I am, you're going to want to move a little bit more quickly so you can get to your other tasks of the day. So I'll go into my repository of previously written messages, and I'll basically just copy and paste them in. So I have a couple written up messages for facility directors and property managers. Got 3 right here I can choose from. Security director of security. So if I run into a director of security, I kind of have a form letter for him as well. I have one if I'm dealing with someone that works in IT. I have one for a fire department. So I have a number of, you know, pre-written messages depending on who I'm searching for that I can just copy and paste right into the page. So she's a property manager, so I'm going to copy and paste this first one here. And it's really basic message, and it's not perfect, but it works. I'm going to copy and paste that in. Let's see. All right, I can't zoom down. So basically it just says, hi, I wanted to reach out to ask that you please keep me in mind for any security projects involving video surveillance, key card, intercom, you know, all the things that I sell. I can serve as a responsive point of contact. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add her name. Hi, Sherry. And then I'm going to send the invitation. Boom, sent. So it says invitation sent right there. So Sherry's going to get that. She's going to decide whether or not she wants to connect with me or not, right? Quick and easy. So I'm going to go right down to the next one. Sarah Dooley Nolan, senior property manager at Lincoln Property Company. You know, nice professional picture. We have some mutual connections, which is great. I'm going to click connect. I'm going to click add note. I'm going to copy and paste what I just had. I'm going to add her name, and then I'm going to stop doing this because this is outside my territory. So, and then you're just going to send the invitation again. So if you're doing this fairly quickly, you type in what you're looking for, property manager Texas, you come down, and we've sent 2 invitations here within the first minute. And if you're, you know, efficient at it, you can do it even faster too. So, you know, just going right down the list. We got Alyssa, she's your property manager, nice professional picture. You might want to connect with her. Monica, property manager, you may want to connect with her. That's great. I have a couple notifications here in the chat. I'm just going to take a quick peek at, see if I can see it.
Looks like Kirsten has a question.
Yeah, can you read it? Can you read it to me? I can't, I'm having trouble accessing it from here.
No problem. Kristen asked, what's your response like connecting with new contacts?
Yep, so great question, great question. So if I reach out to about 100 people with those particular messages, I'll get about a 30% connection rate. So out of 100 people, about 30 of them will say yes, depending on the day and depending on, you know, a couple other factors. Like if I have mutual connections, that will probably be about a 50% chance. If it's someone that I haven't, or I don't know, and we don't have anything in common or anything like that, it'll probably be about 30%. So that would be Alyssa. I would say we were about a 30% chance of connecting based on that message, which is good. You know, that's fantastic. Like if you're doing email marketing or cold calling, like how many times are you actually getting someone on the phone? I guarantee it's less than 30%, you know? So that's something to think about there too, which is great. And then I'll just keep going right back down and I'll find it. Was there any more questions? I saw that there was a couple.
Yeah, I actually have a question. As far as getting people to actually reply to your note or your message, what do you see as far as that goes? Do they reply to your message?
Yeah, so some people do, most people probably don't. All right. And it's good to manage that expectation. But if you're playing, I play a little bit of the numbers game, right? And if I reach out to a bunch of people, you may get a small response rate, but you still are getting responses. And I'll touch on that a little bit more as we go. Let's do another example here. So property manager is someone that I like to search for. Another one is CEO. So I'll just type in CEO, Texas. And we'll see what we got here. So first one pops up. So we got 350,000 results in Texas alone for CEO, so can everyone hear me okay? It said my connection's unstable.
No, we can hear you.
Okay,
Sounds
perfect.
good.
Okay, perfect.
Tyler, quick question. Do you find a better response on specific days or time?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't found that. Maybe more so during the weekdays. People are actually on the computers a little bit more. But no, nothing specifically. Definitely during the day more than at night. So anyway, so Vicki Hollub, President and CEO of Occidental Petroleum. So, I work in security, so I would definitely want to connect with her because she's the chief executive officer of, probably what is a pretty good company there. So I'm going to click connect. I'm going to go in, I'm going to add my note, whichever note I want to add. I'm going to click send invitation. And I'm just going to keep on going through. And once I get to my 50 or 60 per day, LinkedIn is going to be like, hey man, time to slow down a little bit. You've maxed out for the day, so it's time to stop. And that's fine. So I'll move on to the things I got to do during the day. But I'm reaching out to those 50 people, which is pretty tremendous. So the second back half part of that is if people actually want to accept my connection. So I'll send it out to them. I'll send the message, and then they're going to see that. They're going to see my message, and about 30 to 50% of the time, whatever it is, they're going to say yes. Sure, I'd like to connect with you. That's fine. So what I'll do the following day is I'll go into my network, and Denise, thanks for the connection. So I'll go into my connections right here, and it's just going to list all of my previous connections chronological order here. So like, as you can see, I connected with Rich 21 minutes ago. I connected with Liz 21 minutes ago, Jennifer 29 minutes ago, Dylan 45 minutes ago, Randy 51 minutes ago. And this is all bunched together in a relatively tight time frame just because I was doing this right before I hopped on this call. So generally it's, you'll get a connection or two every hour. But what I'll do is I'll just go through and I'll ask them for business. I'll keep it really, really basic. So I'll go back down to where I was the day before. Say it was right here, so Asmir. So I'm going to click on message, and I'll send in another one of my form messages, thanking them for the connection and then asking them for business. So I'll go into my vault here, and I will copy and paste this message in. Copy, paste, and I'll write his name in. Hi, Asmir, thanks for connecting. Do you have any upcoming security system projects or potential ideas involving cameras, key cards, that I might be able to help you out with? I'm going, being very blunt, very straightforward. I asked for the connection the day before. He said yes, and now I'm following up again. Thank you for connecting. I appreciate it. Do you have any projects coming up? And I will go through and discard that. I will go through every single person and do that to them. So at the end of the day, they've accepted my connection, and I've sent them 2 messages. So, that's really pretty tremendous. And so you've asked for, 15 different people for business, on average within that given day. Right now, I'm connecting with about 30, 40 people every day. So I'm asking 30, 40 people for, business every single day. And if I ask for 100, I may get 1 or 2 pretty good ones. I'll probably get, a lot of non-responses. I'll get, kind of, thank you, not right now, I'll keep you in mind, or, hey, maybe you can reach out to me in 6 months when we rethink our budget, that type of thing. And, you can do that. And that's really pretty great. So, I'll get an array of different responses from people. And what I'll do is I'll organize all those responses. And I do that in an Excel sheet. So I'll organize different leads based on, my interaction with them. So if someone says anything at all, I'll put them under the cold leads section. So if they say, hey, no thanks, or maybe reach out to us in a couple of months, or, hey, I'll keep you in mind, I'll put them in the cold lead section. I'll just put them right in here, so that if I want to reach out to them every 6 months and just say, hey, how's it going? Just, reminding you I'm in security, anything coming up, anything on the horizon, anything I can help you with, whatever. and, you may get something there. So that's the cold lead section. Then I have, my warm lead section where someone is, asking like, oh, hey, thanks for the connection. Where are you based out of? We may have something for you maybe in a couple months. What type of services do you provide? Anything like that. That's a warm lead. There's a little bit of a connection there, which is good. And, maybe I'll reach out to these people, maybe once a month and just, hey, touching base, whatever you want to say. And then, they have the whole other section, which is a hot lead. And these hot leads are the good ones. So these are the ones like Norman got back to me and he's like, this is perfect timing. We need a new security system. Or, Nick got back to me and he's just like, hey, we need some cameras. Do you do cameras? Like, yes, I absolutely do cameras. Happy to help. Or Colby comes out to me and he says, hey, we're not happy with our current provider. Do you think you would be up for a meeting or some type of phone discussion to go over some of this stuff? And it's like, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it. And more often than not, what I'll do is I'll reach out to these hot leads every 2 or 3 days and I'll just bug them. I'll keep bugging them until, they either tell me to go away or we set a meeting with them, and try to get some business out of them. And then, I have an appointment set over here. This is, I haven't kept this up to date. I'm probably in around 50 right now. So I haven't kept it up to date, but, you can kind of move them over. Some people will move from cold to hot, cold to warm, warm to hot, and some, people will, move into your appointment set. So that's just kind of how I organize it. It's a way that I can look, back and see who I actually spoke with and, to determine who I want to speak to in the future again. Because if you're connecting with, 30, 40 people a day, kind of like what I am, you can lose track of your conversations. So it's good to have a little repository that you can reflect back on. So that's that. So just to take that full circle, I come up to the search bar. I search for a person I'm looking for, a job title I'm looking for in my area. I hit the connect button. I send them a request with a note. They can determine whether or not they want to accept that or not. You'll get about a 30 to 50% rate based on the messages that I've sent. The following day, I'll come in and I'll follow up with all of them again, asking them for business, thanking them for the connection. And from there, you hope that, a little bit of a discussion develops. You hope that the spark turns into a little bit of a fire there, which, ideally is what you're looking for, that business development. So, and if they don't say anything, if they say not right now, or they don't even respond, that's totally, totally fine. Because the great thing about this, and going back to one of my initial points is, you can get extremely specific. Like all of these people are in your network and they're going to stay in your network, which means they're going to see your posts, right? Which is a whole second half of this. Right. So if you go to the home screen, you can start a post. So I do posts all the time. So create a post. What do you want to talk about? And I can talk about anything. I can talk about my daily thoughts on security. I can post an article. I can post a YouTube video. I can post a video of myself talking about security because it adds a nice personal touch. And, the more I do that, the more all of those connections are going to see that I'm in security, that I know what I'm talking about, and that, I'm a value add to them, and that if they have any questions, they can come to me in the future, right? So I've developed, a network of about 3,500 people. About 3,400 of them are, people that would potentially be in charge of the purchase of a security system. I got CEOs in there. I have business owners. I have property managers. I have security directors, and you can cater that to, whatever it is you're trying to sell based on your business, right? But if you go in and you're posting, if I'm posting once a week, because I want to remind everyone that's in my network that I'm in security, that I know what I'm talking about, and, that I'm a value add to them, because that's huge. Because, when you're reaching out to these folks, they may not say anything because they may not have anything for you. But, say, 6 months goes by and you've been posting every week and they've been seeing, maybe 20% of them, maybe they see your name, 5 or 6 times over the course of 6 months, and they, they associate with you with security, and all of a sudden their building needs something, something that you provide. You'll probably be at the forefront of their mind, for that type of thing. So if you're constantly reminding people that you're there and that you're doing it, it's going to develop business for you. And the bigger your network grows and the more you're, posting and the more they're seeing, your business is really going to start snowballing. It's really going to start to compound, and, the business development aspect of it will be, become pretty easy. And I've seen a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of people on here that, have, 30,000 connections and are posting every day and are just, have more business than they know what to do with. because LinkedIn is a professional network. People go on, Facebook and Instagram, and it's more of a personal network, but LinkedIn's turned, into a professional network where people go to look for information and to connect with other successful people and stuff like that. So,
Tyler?
yep.
Hey, it's Kirsten. I have another question.
Sure.
So you said you're based out of Maine, is
Yep,
that right?
Correct.
Okay. So essentially you're doing all your prospecting virtually. It sounds like your territory covers Texas and some other spots.
No. So I was just doing Texas as an example there. That was just an example.
Okay.
So my territory is just New England, which is, Maine, Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island, minus Connecticut. So that's where I do all my prospecting. And yeah, about 90% of my prospecting takes place on LinkedIn, just because of the amount of people I can reach out to, the amount of conversations that I can get going, and the amount of business that I'm continuously, able to develop just using this platform. I did a lot of cold calling, knocking on doors, kicking in doors, when I was first starting out. And, I had a lot of trouble getting past, the receptionist, or, getting someone that would actually, be interested in what I had to say. And, that was pretty defeating, and it was tough. And, I had to find another way. I got to find another way to do this. So I discovered LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
I've searched and I've researched it a lot, and I've found success, and, I've put some money in my pocket too, which is, the ultimate goal, so.
Yeah, nice. And I was going to ask then, with that, your results. So how effective has this been within, your role at your company?
It's been extremely effective. It's really propelled my career forward to the point where, I'm giving this same presentation to, the entire Stanley Security sales team, which is a lot. It's put, it's developed my pipeline to the point where I'm a huge asset now for the company, and it's helped me, sell jobs and make money, and, just increase my value. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep doing it. It's going to continue. And I want all of you guys to, do that as well, because it's really pretty tremendous what this tool can do. Like I'll go through, I'll show you a couple of like the posts that I've done.
Just really quick, Tyler,
Yep.
because Kirsten, you can use this because you're national, so you have the ability to utilize this for every state in North America.
Yeah, and I do use it. I don't have the business version, and I do searches, and then they start harassing me to upgrade, and I just wait, and it kind of lets me in another 2 days or so. But
Yep.
yeah, same. It takes time, but in the long run, you really develop it. It makes a big difference.
Yeah, for sure.
It really does. It really does. And yeah, I envy that. I wish I was national accounts, because I want to expand that territory, and I want to reach out to more people. Like I want to start, infiltrating New York and Florida and California. Like I want to go everywhere and, try to develop business in all parts of the country. I am limited to, my 5 states, which is fine. And I don't think I'll ever run out of people that I can really reach out to. But yeah, it's especially advantageous, especially if you're, in national accounts, and, you're working across the country or even across the globe. So yeah, it's really pretty tremendous. So like going through a couple of like the posts that I've done, I've got, you get good viewership from it. So let's see. So I posted this 2 days ago, and, I got 810 views. So 810 people are seeing this, being reminded that I'm in security, and, hopefully it's adding a little bit of value to their life as well. I do videos as well. So this is me. I include captions, and like I do like a little bit of production with it, and it's good. This one only developed 1,000 views, but I did one, like the other day, like I did this one a month ago, and this one got me 2,700 views and still counting, and a bunch of comments, and like a lot of discussions behind the scenes, and this is just me talking about, what I know in security. Any kind of topic I can think of, I'll write a script up for it, and put a little video together, because people love videos. It adds a personal touch. It allows them to see me, and it's just getting views. It's just getting eyeballs in front of me, eyeballs in front of the fact that I do security. So 6 months from now, 3 years from now, whatever the time frame, hopefully those potential customers reach out to me. So So that's that. Is there any other questions that I might be able to answer?
Don't be shy, people.
This is Kirsten, just to put it out there. Do you have any tips or tricks when you get connections from other people and what your insecurity look out for? Because there's sometimes, you know, things that can flag people you may not know, just like we're targeting people, you know, that can be unsafe to connect with, and why you would or wouldn't want to connect with someone.
Yep. So if you're worried about that, what you can do is focus on connecting with people that you have second degree connections with. So if you have a second degree connection with someone, they're much more likely to accept you and much more likely to, you know, hit the flag button that like, hey, I don't know this person. You know, if you're connecting with people that you don't know constantly, you can get flagged. And I've been flagged, I think, one time in 7 months, and it just like it didn't allow me to use it for like a day, and then it allowed me to, you know, continue what I was doing. So if you're worried about that, focus on contacts that you have second degree connections with, and reach out and say, hey, I saw we had a couple mutual connections. I do this, this, and this. I was hoping for the connection, and you won't have any problem like that. Another thing you can do too is to remove. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Just
Yep.
I'm sorry. You keep going. I'll ask the question in a second.
Okay. Another thing you can do too is, I'm having trouble seeing here. There it is. You can manage your invitations. So like I've sent out, right now I have 2,600 invitations out right now that people could actually respond to. And if you keep that number down, you don't let that number skyrocket, you always kind of keep it around the same number, you're not going to get flagged. And I've been doing that for a few months now. I'll send 50 and I'll remove 50, 50 people that I requested 2 months ago. I'll just remove those. And then you won't get flagged. So good question.
The question is, when you post, as I post often, Denise is asking this, how long can your followers see it? I noticed that once I post, it disappears from the feed in minutes because of how many people post. Just curious.
Well, it won't disappear. It won't disappear. After about, maybe a couple months, it will be pretty much invisible to most people unless they look at your profile. But it's not gonna disappear. It's not gonna go away. And if you're posting something that is really providing value, people are going to look at it. And the way that the LinkedIn algorithm is set up is they're going to push forward the posts that are getting eyeballs. So if you post something good, LinkedIn's going to keep it at the top of the list so that all of your other connections and maybe even some of their second degree connections can actually see it. So just focus on putting out quality content, stuff that you think is relevant. I would say definitely put out some video. LinkedIn pushes video. But it won't disappear. It kind of has to do with like how many views you get within the first couple of hours. So, if you post something and you're getting 300-400 views, within your first hour and a half, it's going to continue to push that video or push that post. So just focus on, connecting with people, increasing your network so that you get more eyeballs, in front of your posts. So, connect with people that, would want to see your posts. And then connect with people within your industry as well, within your company. So like I get a lot of likes, just from people that are in my industry. I'll post something and, I'll get, maybe 10 or 15 likes from people that I just work with, and that the LinkedIn algorithm's going to love that. They'd be like, oh, wow, this guy's, he's getting some traction on this post. I'm going to keep this at the top. And then, people that you're actually trying to sell to will actually see it. So, but good question.
Denise, did you get your question answered? You can type it in.
Yes,
Okay, yeah.
thank you. That was perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. And if anyone, anyone wants to reach out to me, shoot me a LinkedIn request right after we get off of this. I'll be happy to talk to you if you have any questions. I realize some people want to, approach this LinkedIn thing kind of more at a basic level, and that's fine. What I would recommend doing is going through some of your previous customers, some of the people you've worked with in the past, request them because they're going to accept you. They'll probably like your posts, and it's a good way for you to, post and continue to remind them that, you're there and that you're providing value, so that's a great way to do it. So if you want to start off by just reaching out to all the people you've worked with, do that. I would absolutely recommend doing that. And then, moving forward, if you have appointments, you meet people throughout your travels, that are looking to purchase your services. As soon as you're done with the meeting, hop on LinkedIn and see if they have an account and request them. Oftentimes what I'll do is I'll shoot them an email. Hey, thank you for your time. I'm looking forward to, potentially providing you, quality services that, my company offers. I'll also go on LinkedIn and, I'll hit connect with them, and, I'll have them in my network, and, they can see what I'm doing and, be reminded and all that stuff. So it's definitely kind of a new age of marketing yourself, but I think it's one that's really, really going to continue to take off. So,
especially in these days.
Yep. Yeah. Especially during, it's perfect. It's sad to say, but it's probably the best way of going about it during COVID right now. Because, most businesses are closed. Not many people are answering the phones, but, a lot of people are at home and they are on their computer and messing around with their phone on LinkedIn. So it's a good way to start those conversations, get people thinking about, your products and services, for when, the economy, turns back around, people go back to work and, they actually have some money to spend. So.
Hey, Tyler, I have a question. If you've sent out a request and the person hasn't responded, what do you do? And it's someone you really want to connect with.
You can keep bugging them if you want. You can really do anything you want there. I wouldn't bug them maybe too much, because they could flag you at that point. If it's someone you really, really, really want to connect with, I would send them a personalized invitation. So I would search them, find them, research their business, find out a little bit something about them. Maybe you have a mutual connection or something in common. Put that in your note and send it off. That'll give you your best chance. If you personalize that message, odds are they'll probably want to connect with you. They'll probably got an 80% chance that they'll just say yes, just because of the effort you went through. So yeah, if you really want to connect with someone, put in the effort.
Yeah, it's actually referrals from a chief of police from one of our universities. And, he gave me a list of other chiefs of polices that from other universities in California. And that's a direct connect. It was a personalized, request that the chief was referring me. So I'll keep trying.
Yeah, keep trying. And if you want to she's chief of police is another one. I always spell chief wrong. I'll just do Texas, and there's chief or police. Come on, Ty.
Why do you pick Texas all the time?
That's just my example. I don't know why. I did it in my last presentation too. I just think Texas. You don't mess with Texas. So so there's a bunch of them. 36,000 results. Billy Cordell, chief of police. So there's a bunch of them that you could reach out to here. So chief of police, chief of police, chief of police, chief of police. If that's who you're looking to sell to, it's not hard to find. And if you get caught up on one particular person, maybe they just don't want to connect with you. Maybe they're not active on LinkedIn enough to really even, maybe they go on every 6 months. Some people do that. Just move on to the next. There's a ton of them. There's no shortage of chief of police that you can reach out to. I think I'm connected with probably 200 of them in New England. So there's a ton of them. So I would say just move on to the next.
Got it.
Any other questions I might be able to answer? I appreciate your time. Hope I'm not boring you guys too much.
Not at all. Tyler, Kristen has another question. Do you follow up with a phone call or at some point, or you just stick with LinkedIn?
I generally just stick with the LinkedIn. If the conversation gets to the point where, a phone call would be easier or, more efficient, I'll give them my phone number, or I'll ask for their phone number. And, generally at that point, they're receptive to that. Like, hey, give me a call, or, maybe I'll call you, and they'll be totally receptive to that. But I mainly keep it on LinkedIn. It's kind of a passive way of doing it, but you can do it in an aggressive way. So it gives them the option of, connecting with you. Do I want to connect with this person? They can say no, so it's no big deal. And, if you're reaching out to them afterwards, they have the option of, removing you from their list if they want. It's totally up to them. So it's kind of a passive way of doing it. And a lot of people appreciate it. Like, I've had quite a few meetings where, they're like, hey, I really appreciated the way you went about reaching out to me. Like I realized that you were, looking for business, and a lot of people don't really approach that in a way that is, gives me the option or makes me feel comfortable. So this is a way to reach out to someone and make them feel comfortable about it. Kind of outline what you're looking to gain from the relationship, and they can decide whether or not, without actually even speaking to you, if they want to let you in their network. And if they do, then you have full permission to reach out to them again. So.
Okay.
So doesn't sound like there's really any other questions. So if you guys want to shoot me an invite on LinkedIn and connect, I'd love to have all of you in my network. So I would invite you to do that. To maybe that could be your step one, is to send me a request.
For sure. And Tyler, you have the list of everyone that was in that group too. So if you want to, or Tyler, they can shoot a request for you as well. One quick question. I remember I had when I had sent a message and you showed me how to go back in to find that message.
Can you take me through that one more time?
Yeah, I had sent a request out, and then I was trying to find out, where did I send that request, and how do I find it again?
So did you remember who the person was that you sent it to?
Yeah, it was to
did.
one of the chief of police. Did you do it in your network?
Yep. So you can do it right in the search bar. So all you have to do is go in, search their name, and it'll pop up and it'll say whether or not you're a first degree connection now. So if you are a first degree connection now, then that means he said yes. But you can also go into, so if you click on my network right here on the top, you can go into your connections. Click, come on.
No, it's right over where you see invitations. I wanted to go back and look at the ones I had asked for connections.
Yep. So invitations right here. So all right. So those are invitations. And then, so there's a couple different ways to go about it, right? So I have all my invitations right here. Where is the sent one? I'm drawing a blank on this for some reason. One sec. No, it's not in here.
Is it in your homepage?
No, it's on the homepage. I don't know why. Okay, so I think this button changed for some reason.
Yeah, right there.
So, okay, so here it is. So you click see all, and then you click on sent. And then this shows you all of the ones you've sent. So like I requested Sherry with you guys 29 minutes ago. I requested Matt an hour ago. So if you go through here, you'll be able to see, the chief of police that you were looking for. And if it's still in the sent folder, that means he has either rejected it or he hasn't seen it or responded to it.
So how would you request it again?
You can click withdraw right here. So you can withdraw that. And then after a 3-week period, you can request them again.
Okay.
Yep. If that makes sense.
Yes.
I have a question.
Sure.
So when I get emails and it says 50 people have viewed your profile on LinkedIn, obviously now using the free version, I can't see that. But if I were to pay and get the business version, how would you use that tool? Would you go and see who's viewed your profile and then reached out to them if that happens?
Sure. Yeah. So I'll go in, that pops up in notifications. So I'll click on notifications and I'll scroll down. I'll see if I can find one. I got a bunch of notifications here. Let me see. But one of these notifications will say, see who's viewed your profile, and it'll give it to you every couple of days. Not sure why it's not popping up right now, but correct. If you have the business, subscription or the Sales Navigator subscription, you can go in and actually see, about 90% of the people that have viewed your profile. So if it's like a potential prospect and they're looking at your profile, you can go right into their page, request them and say, hey, I saw that you were looking at my profile. I was wondering if maybe you saw my post and had some interest or what have you. So yeah, it gives you that extra insight.
Tyler, it's right above right there where it says you appeared in 50 searches this week. It's where.
Okay,
right
so no, this is different. So this is like for recruiters, like people trying to like recruit. See, so that's a little bit different there. So let me see. It does show up somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to find it right now, but it does. It does. It'll pop up on notifications, and every couple of days it'll be like, so and so viewed your profile, and you can click on that. And you can see all the other people that have viewed your profile. You can see how many people have viewed your profile over the course of the week, and then you can click on their profile and request them if you would like to. So it's a cool function. Hope that answers your question.
Kirsten has another question. Thank you for
Okay.
your insights. If you have privacy settings to not allow others to know you viewed their profile, can they still see you viewed them if you have premium?
No. So you can set up your privacy settings to, so that if you want to view someone's profile and that you don't want them to know, you can do that. It'll send them a notification that says someone viewed your profile, but it won't say who, and it won't lead them to your profile or anything. So if you want to stay private and look at someone without them really knowing, you can absolutely do that. But I'll do that quite often. Like if I'm going to meet someone, like if I have an appointment with someone I haven't met before, like if the company gives me a lead and I got to go out, I'll search them and I'll gladly show up in the profile as someone that's viewed them. Like I want them to know that I'm doing my homework and that I'm going to work hard for them. So it just kind of depends what you want to do. But yeah, if you want to be, discreet about it and you don't want anyone knowing that you're looking at their stuff and that, their profile, you can absolutely do that.
I think I missed how you stay discreet. Can you say that again?
I'm sorry, what?
I think I missed how you stay discreet. Can you tell me that again?
Oh, how you stay discreet?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So there's privacy options. So if you want to search someone or, you don't want people to see that you're looking at their profile, you can do that. There's options within the privacy settings that you can set that up. So that's really not a problem.
Okay.
Can you show us how to do that?
I could try. Let's see. Settings, privacy. It's gonna be somewhere in here. Profile visibility on LinkedIn. So that might be it. I mean, you could just Google this. LinkedIn will tell you how to do it. I just keep mine open, but it's in the privacy settings here somewhere.
Got it.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any more questions? I think we're good. Tyler,
Okay.
this was fantastic.
Yep. I hope it was helpful. 47 minutes of your time. I hope I didn't bore you too much, but I appreciate your time and I thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tyler. You were awesome.
Yeah, this was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, my IFMA family.
Bye, thank you.
Bye,
Bye,
Tyler.
Lydia. Thank you.
We'll be in touch, Tyler.
All right. Sounds good.